this person? And he goes, see, those are the trolls. When somebody asks who this is, they're the trolls. What does that even mean?
Before Twitter, before YouTube, before Reddit, a scientist named John Suhler coined a term to describe the loosening of social inhibitions because of the anonymity of the internet, the online disinhibition effect. Basically, people are willing to behave differently online than in real life.
Interest in true crime stories is not new. What is new is this sense of community that's created by the internet. The ability to inject yourself into the story, which is what people are doing. Yes, you create a sense of celebrity status. It's exciting to watch your follower count grow and grow and grow.
It can also be hard to see other internet users as real people who are affected by the things we say and do. And one part of that is solipsistic introjection, which means you basically create a character of the other person in your mind.
You're going to die. Death is coming to you real soon, mother.
So the other person has become dehumanized.
You can't say, I've done something to some guy that nobody knows. Well, no problem. Step up and tell me who you are.
Some recent studies have focused on more aggressive kinds of trolls and the presence of traits associated with the so-called dark triad or dark tetrad. For example, one personality type is known as the Machiavellian, which is predisposed to being cold and detached in order to manipulate others. Narcissism, on the other hand, indicates an inflated sense of self and lack of empathy toward other people. You might also have heard the term psychopathy. Psychologists refer to this more accurately as antisocial personality disorder. It results in an inability to feel empathy or guilt and a tendency to take advantage of other people. And sadism describes the tendency to take pleasure from other people's pain.
I'm certain it was a total fabrication. It was just a drill with the intention of disarming Americans. Nobody died. It was just a drill.
Here's some phony parents, these crisis actors at Newtown, Connecticut. And these are crisis actors, and they're paid to boo-hoo and go on the Gun Grab Roadshow and convince us that their children died at sea.
These are not people that just remain on the internet. Some people read this information and it affects them. They take action. There isn't any longer a separation between the online world and the offline world. What is said about you will carry over into your personal life, into your career, into your relationships, into your community, and it will impact your life.
Lenny Pozner is the father of Noah Pozner, a 6-year-old boy who was murdered along with 25 others at Sandy Hook Elementary School. People were saying the vilest things about him, his wife, his son, and the other Sandy Hook families, and Lenny Pozner decided to fight back.
I was being attacked. The memory of my son's very short life was being attacked, and I just wasn't going to stand.
And others that show Mr. Pozner's son that they're saying was a child killed in a terror attack a few months ago in Pakistan. Do I know the whole story? No, I don't know the whole story. But am I being lied to? Absolutely, I'm being lied to.
Alex Jones is like the worldwide wrestling of news. Some people enjoy it. They can suspend their disbelief and enjoy what they're hearing. Some people look at it and they think it's real. He said he's entertainment, but people think, yeah, entertainment, wink, wink, nod, nod. He has to say that. Somehow, everyone on the internet, in the truther world, they feel separate from these events. Like this is something that's just going on the web, or it's just going on television. I thought that I'd kind of bridge that gap and cross over and see what I would find. I released his birth certificate, I released his death certificate, I released his medical examiner's report, I released his school records, sort of showing the world, here's Noah, and this is his life. This is how he was born, and this is how he died.
Hey, Mr. Pozner.
No, sir.
Is your legal name Eliza? Do you have any comment on the claim that you're a crisis actor?
And that changed
Anything
nothing.
else, or-
That made the person curse me out and yell at me and say, how can you do this? And how can you lie to everybody? And how much did they pay you? It's the same talking points. Nothing
Mr.
changed
Pozner,
except
no
the guy
comment?
was just
comment?
really upset at me all of a sudden. But that's pretty
Your real
real.
name's Leonard. How come you used the Eliza to purchase a firearm? Have anything to say to Wolfgang Halbig? We know the truth, sir. Just remember.
I do believe Leonard Pozner, he is that domino that's going to make the whole thing just fall apart.
We begin with this. Only on CBS this morning, the father of a Sandy Hook victim is telling us about his fight against misinformation. And this comes after a major legal ruling against a man who called the mass shooting a hoax.
Who said it's a hoax?
You've said it in the past, online.
Are you ready for this? I'm repeating what other people said.
But in the years since, this unlikely activist has not only succeeded for himself, he's helping others through his organization, HONR Network, whose volunteers keep an eye on the internet, protecting victims of tragedy, cyberstalking, and harassment.
So don't say anything incriminating at this point.
Nah.
Riches. Okay, why do you have such a in-depth Wikipedia page?
All right, so no one on this earth has filed more lawsuits than me. I filed over 9,000 lawsuits in the course of my life in every state, local, federal jurisdiction, probably everywhere.
Drove to Connecticut and impersonated the uncle of Adam Lanza, the shooter in the Sandy Hook Elementary School incident. You son of a bitch.
He told townspeople he was Lanza's uncle. He was arrested for federal parole violation.
So Sandy Hook happened, so as soon as Sandy Hook happened, I got in my car, went right up to Sandy Hook.
The smoking gun reports just 2 days after the Newtown school massacre, Bridges drove to Connecticut in an attempt to visit Lanza's home, but was turned away by real family members. He also attended a memorial site where he identified himself as Adam Lanza's uncle and dropped to his knees praying for the victims.
So I saw the memorial for the victims. I got on my knees and started pretending I was crying, right? So next thing I know, all these fake news reporters, New York Times and New York Daily News Post and Huffington Post and those idiots, they start flashing, their cameras in my face. Hey, we're very emotional here. What's going on? And I just winged it. I said, my name is Jonathan Lanza. I am the uncle of the shooter. I'm here to pay respect to the victims. And they're like, what? You know what I mean? What? And next thing I know, I'm surrounded by by people like a press conference, and they believed me. I was the uncle of the shooter. A gonzo journal. Me too. I kind of incorporate that style, and I have the 100% backing of my boss to do that. That's my job, to poke the other side, whatever.
Prison. This ain't you. You're going. This ain't you on my motherfucking property. Shut up, bitch.
And trigger them and get reactions out of them. Blow bullhorns in their face as I'm reporting and calling them whatever to get the reaction. That I do that. That's what I want.
Did you ask him to leave your
So it's fun, and I will continue to do it. It's not going to stop.
You're dangerous.
Having fun, baby.
You found your spot again, once again.
Having fun, and...
would you say this is a scene?
Yeah.
Right?
Publicity stunt.
Come out and cooperate with the
Constant protests have the whole street on edge, and it finally reached the boiling point after one neighbor had a meltdown, accusing a protester of trespassing. He was charged with battery and simple assault.
Come on my property. I'm gonna think you're
to prison, buddy.
Okay.
You're going to prison. You're going to prison. Call 911. You're going to prison.
I understand it to be a thought virus, and it's spreading. It continues to spread. There is no basis on the internet for what's true and not true, so things spread. These videos with lies, that people believe them. You know, a certain percentage of the population is easily suggestible, so they don't fact check when they hear it, and if it's coming from someone that they've followed their YouTube channel, they acknowledge it as reality, as their reality.
I remember one state police officer standing at attention at this child's casket the whole mass, and I remember I came over in the middle of the night one time, and he was sitting there reading to them, you know, like, and he said, like, I looked at him, he said, I know, he says, but this is what I'd be doing if I were home, and I'm sure this is what his dad would be doing if he were home, you know, so, well.
Pozner has made it his mission to change tech company policies to protect victims from online bullying.
It's one of HONR's goals to protect victims and establish more of a boundary for what's defined as abuse and harassment. YouTube channel is monetized, or their blog is monetized. They also take donations, and they use platforms like PayPal to receive funds, which means that PayPal is making money off of this. So we have it automated so that anyone can help and take action. Hate speech is not free speech. Harassment is not free speech. It is what it is.
You know that there are people watching this interview thinking, well, we have freedom of speech in this country, and any of these people can say whatever they want online.
I think that people don't understand the concept of freedom of speech. The internet has now blurred that definition. It doesn't give people the right to defame someone or incite others to hunt someone down, or just generally terrorizing someone is not free speech.